That's right, I won my first tournament ever. Got the proof right here. But we're gonna review the footage. I was able to play in a 3-man scramble tournament with Isaac and Connor. We played at Green Lake Disc Golf Park. It was a great day, beautiful day, and hold on a second. I am just reading this now. Okay, this sign that is taped on the disc golf park sign is talking about one bear that entered the park, two bears crossed the road. Anyway, and later on down here it talks about a goat being taken by one of the bears of a neighbor. Somebody else got out of their car to take a picture of the bear and it charged them. So it just, at the end there it says, please be advised. So thankfully we didn't experience any bears at this tournament, but I don't know if I'll go back now. But anyway, entered our first tournament ever. It was a great time. This is the opening, the players meeting. He's just kind of going over some of the rules, kind of letting us know, hey, what happens if there is a tie, things like that. So with that, we all walked out to our tee pad. We started on hole 12, but just for the sake of keeping track, I'm just going to kind of tell you hole 1 of our tournament, hole 2, whatever. But anyway, we're in an MA3 tournament. There's several different divisions there, but we are in the MA3 3-man scramble. Why are we in MA3? Well, here's why. None of us are very good. We struggle with grip locks, struggle with early release, struggle with ankle control, pretty much everything. But despite our abilities, we teed off with confidence on hole 1, and Isaac sends a beautiful one down the fairway. For the first ever tournament, we take the par. But we played with some amazing guys. We got Corey, Drew, and then also Cal. These guys hyped us up the whole entire time for the first round, and they were great card mates. Hole 3 took even par, even though we all had really, really close looks for a birdie. Tapped in for the par. The next hole, we tap in for another par, even after 3. Connor here absolutely smokes this tree, but thankfully we didn't have to take his shot. We had this next shot for an approach that was a great shot by myself, humbly, but it ends in a par as well. So Connor on the next one, he shanks this, grips lock it way to the right, but it comes back, surprisingly, he doesn't hit any trees, comes back into the fairway, and we have quite the long putt for par, or for birdie. Jump putt, man. Oh, the only one of the day. But that's okay. Took the birdie on the first hole, or took our first birdie of the tournament there. This next one here, all of us had really good looks at it, but still could not make the shot go in. So we take another par. On this next hole here, hole 7 for us, it's one of the longest holes of the course. Right now we're playing the blue, but when we play gold, it is the longest hole at the course. But anyway, had some good shots, some okay shots, but this shot here almost goes in. But we still tap out for another par, but a par on that hole is a win. On the next hole here, hole 8, we get a nice look at birdie. Connor floats it in there. Second birdie of the day. We're starting to heat up. Isaac here laces this one through the gap. It's actually smaller than you see it right there, but it's right up there. And he has a beautiful putt to follow up that drive for our third birdie, sitting at 3 under after 9 holes. We're feeling good. You can see it, the fist bumps all around. And then he steps up, another great shot down the fairway. And we're all excited. We're pumped. That was a great shot. But unfortunately, he hits cage. Connor hits cage. I step up there. Oh, just barely make it in for our 4th birdie of the day. So here we get kind of trapped. Connor hits the first available there. But we kind of scrambled out. Isaac has another good putt. Almost makes it in. But unfortunately, end the birdie train there. And we take a par on this hole. On hole 12, we had a 30-footer for birdie. Unfortunately, none of us could hit it. I hit top band. That's as close as we got. So we had to take the par, settle for that. And then the tree trouble started. We could not stay away from the trees. Both Isaac and I off the tee hit like first available, and then Connor hit some trees as well. But we had a great scramble shot here from Isaac And then I followed it up with another great scramble shot for another par. On this next hole here, we got a really good drive down the fairway, but this is a very, very long par 3, so we missed the putt, tap out for the par. Isaac here, nice forehand, beautiful buttery shot, gets through all the trees and leaves them for this nice, beautiful putt for another birdie, sitting at 5 under, feeling good. Hole 16, we have a great tee shot, a great, even better approach that leads us to an easy birdie, bringing us to 6 under for our total. And then from there, tap out for a par on 17. We're happy with the par there. The biggest thing is not getting bogeys. Hole 18 here, Isaac has a pretty good tee shot here. Unfortunately, it leaves us a little bit short. Connor sends a good putt up there, gives it a chance, just misses. And we end our first round with 6 under, a score of 6 under. And we are currently sitting in first place with a 2-stroke lead on the rest of the field. So we're feeling good. We went to lunch, got some Culvers, got ourselves some butter burgers, came back, started warming up the putts again, feeling pretty good, and excited to start round 2. And we knew going into round 2, we have a big enough lead. The gold layout is much, much harder, that there's not going to be as many birdies to get. So our goal going into the second round was, hey, let's just get some pars. I think if we par out, we could win this thing. So that was our mindset going in. We meet our card mates, Austin, the flashy bag legend. We got Matt. He was kind of the jokester of the group. He was also the nice every shot we had. And then we had Corey, basically just the king of cool. But these were the lead card, so us and them. But we didn't have a great start. Unfortunately, we had a good tee shot, but then after that, every single approach shot, all of us found trees. Some of us closer than others. We worked our way down the fairway, but unfortunately, we had to settle for a bogey putt. We didn't really have anything closer, and so Isaac steps up there, but he hits top of the band. And then Connor steps up there, it hits the cage. And thankfully, I was able to sink the putt. I would have not been happy if we started with a double bogey. But then we go on to the second hole, bad tee shot, bad approach shots again, and end up taking another bogey. Now 4 under, tied for first place with the guys on our card there, and we're just not feeling good. Isaac, thankfully though, on the next hole, gets us a good shot. We take a par. Thankfully, we didn't take a bogey there. And then we start on the 4th hole of the second round, and we have some good shots, but just nothing great. Did not have a great tee shot. Kind of left us short, and then none of us could hit this putt. It was an easy putt to hit, just could not get it. So we took another bogey. Now sitting at 3 under, second place now. Hit a par on 23, hit a par on 24. Not doing great. We just kind of lost all momentum. And then Isaac kind of gives us some life here with this really, really good shot on hole 25 and hits a putt. It's a par, but it was a really good par to get. And then Connor almost took off their heads on the next hole. Had to yell 4. Isaac puts one in the fairway though. We have somewhat of a putt, but none of us were remotely close to hitting it. So another par. And then on hole 27, step up to the tee pad, throw a nice shot down the fairway. Probably one of my better shots of the round. And then I decide to go roller.
I think I did it right at the end.
Absolutely, well, not perfect, but it was good. And Isaac is able to knock down the first birdie of round 2 for us, bringing us back to 4 under. Really needed that. Brings us back into a tie for first place, I believe now. And hole 28, longest hole of the day. It's a par 5, I believe. And we have some really good shots, some really lucky shots on this one here. Goes right through the trees. I could hardly believe it. We were pretty excited about that. But yeah, you can see just how small that is there. And then Isaac gives us a nice shot, and we tap out for the par. Hole 29, get a nice shot down the center of the fairway. Unfortunately, hits a tree at the very end, leaves us a long putt, so we all missed it, and we have to tap out for the par. And then we take another par. It was a good putt for par, though. And then after a tricky shot on the next hole, we take another par, unfortunately. And then on hole 32, despite a couple good attempts at a throw-in from 150 feet out, we end up taking another par, but those were really good shots, and actually we're pretty close. So Connor taps us out for the par, hole 32, still 4 under. We get this nice shot up the fairway on hole 33 of the round. It was a pretty good shot, quite a pump for me. But anyway, none of us could hit the putt. Unfortunately, it was a easy putt to make, but we weren't even close. So Connor taps us out for the par again. On hole 33, Isaac has this absolutely crazy line that he hits. We were kind of scrambling, trying to get back into the fairway. He absolutely hits the line, and then Connor throws this one. We thought he grip locked it, hits the tree, banks right back towards the basket for the par. And then on hole 34, with 2 holes to go, we're currently tied for the lead. A birdie on one of the next 2 holes would win it for us. And unfortunately, we couldn't get it done on this hole. Isaac had a pretty good couple shots on it, but Isaac chains out, and then I step up there and chain out as well.
Oh, you yapped it.
We thought maybe on the last hole of our round with this absolutely beautiful sunset, it would be our shot, but Isaac hits the tree. I step up there, another good shot that's looking really, really good. Also hit a tree. So at that point, we kind of knew we had to go for the throw-in. Isaac has a pretty good attempt at it. Mine wasn't so great, but both of them were up there. Gave us a nice, easy tap out for the par. Ending our score after 2 rounds at 4 under, sends us into a playoff because we're tied for first place. So on hole 1 of the playoff, it's alternate shot. I take the first shot off of the tee. Able to hit the gap, thankfully. And then Isaac on the putt just floats it a little bit too high, unfortunately, and misses, and we have to tap out for the par. Thankfully, the other team missed their 20-footer and chained it out, which kept us in the game because they had a birdie putt to win it, and they missed it. So it kept us in the game. We go on to hole 2 of the playoff. Again, alternate shot. Very, very tricky. I'm up again for the tee shot. Have another pretty good drive. I was very happy with my drives off of these 2 tee shots because normally I'm not that great. And then we got Isaac on the approach here. Kind of a tricky approach, but he does a great job just laying it up there. Didn't want to get anything too far away from the basket. So he lays it up there, and then Connor taps us out for the par again. Sends us into the next hole, so hole 3 of the playoff, and I am back on the tee, and I only threw this hole good once. In the first round, I threw it pretty good with the roller, and so I thought I would go with the roller again. Unfortunately, the roller did not go as planned this time around. Kind of grip locked it too far to the right, hits a tree, puts Isaac in this really tough position with this tree behind him. I was kind of worried he was going to hit his hand, but thankfully he didn't. Gets a shot, hits a tree, but gets lucky. So Connor steps up to this shot. We didn't really give him any advice or anything. We just wanted him to throw whatever he was comfortable with. So he grabbed his hex, he threw it down the right side, and it was absolutely perfect. I would argue it was the best shot for the day for Connor. An absolutely clutch shot. We needed it, and it was about 20 feet from the basket, 15, 20 feet from the basket. Which put all the pressure on me for the putt for par. And at this point right now, the other team has already tried to, unfortunately they had to scramble, and they tried to throw in to get a par, but they missed. But they are sitting right next to the basket, so I know that if I miss this putt, we have to go into the next one. And so this is like the most intense putt I've ever had to make. So I'm sitting there. I decided to go straddle putt and just staring down the basket. Knew I had to make it. Finally put it out there. It barely floats in. It nubs into the basket, and we win our first tournament ever. I got the 3 of us there with our little championship minis. But yeah, cannot believe that was crazy. That was probably the closest I will ever get to like a sports locked in adrenaline. Like, it was crazy. It was a lot of fun. Aloft Disc Golf put it on. It was a great tournament, 3-man scramble. Had so much fun. Took home the W, and with the winnings, we got $125 to spend at the disc golf store. So all 3 of us were pretty excited. Went and bought some new discs, added them to the bag, and yeah, it was a great tournament. So thank you guys for watching this video about the tournament. If you guys want to see the full video, every single shot from the tournament and how exactly it went down, that will be uploading next. I put together a full video, but wanted to put together a shorter video as well. So hopefully you guys are able to go out and win some tournaments in 2024. Don't forget, like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.